Morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Owen Urech. I'm the son of Bill and Liz Urech, and next year I will be attending American University in Washington, D.C. to study public policy. Now, there are a couple things I want to clear up before we get started. First, for those of you who have only seen me on the morning announcements, I hope seeing me walk up to the podium has confirmed that I'm an actual person and not a disembodied torso. Second, I made a personal request for my background today. If you would, please. There we go. Now I'm ready to start. Today I'm going to be talking about community, more specifically about our community here at Grace and how it grows people up in Christ. I've been going to Grace since I was in first grade, and from the moment I stepped into this building, I felt at home. Sometimes it's the small things, like the faces of our greeters, every morning when I walk into the building late for choir warm-ups. And sometimes it's the big things, like Michael King's eternal forgiveness for me being late to choir warm-ups. The point is, everyone here seems to have found a way in which to serve God with their own personal flair, in their own niche. As Paul pointed out in Romans 12, 4-5, for just as each of us has one body with many members, and these members do not all have the same function, so in Christ we, though many, form one body, and each member belongs to all the others. And I think that's an important idea to touch on. Everywhere I look, people are working well together and using their talents to make our church a better place, and it shows. From the moment someone walks into this church, they know they're surrounded by a group of people who care about them and are trying to improve their connection with God. And if you don't feel like you found your niche yet, well, there's people whose job it is to help you find it. For me, our Youth Exaltation Choir has been that niche. Without them, I couldn't imagine where I would be in my faith and in my life. It's incredible to be in such a large group, but feel like I have a family in all 70 of them. The outreach, the community, the closeness with God I've felt from being in Exaltation is unparalleled, and I wouldn't want to have spent my Sundays with any other group. I know they're not here, I know they're usually not in this service, but I want to give a round of applause to our music ministry in general for what they do. That is what happens when you have a group of people you can grow your faith with. It's a well-known fact among Christians that faith isn't a single journey or a walk through the desert alone. It takes multiple people building and growing off of each other to make Christians that are accountable and faithful and ready to serve God. Although sometimes it takes time to find the people you really connect with, when you do find them, you get the feeling that everything just clicks. When a group of people's faith is strong, your own personal faith grows strong as well, and God works in everything you do. Now, sometimes there comes a point in your life when you have to go out in the world and do God's work on your own and blaze your own path in a new place. Seniors and parents, you know what I'm getting at. I'm leaving for college this August, and I'll be living over 1,000 miles away from anyone in this room. And that's a drastic change from the family that I have here in Plano, Texas. But even when you have to go out into the world and blaze your own path, everything that you did with those who grew you in Christ doesn't go away. God sends us into the world in our own to share his good news and build our own communities, to start our own groups, and make someone else feel like they have family in you and those around them. Growing in Christ doesn't ever end, even when you're away from those who grew you. Our church's motto is every member a missionary. And our lives as missionaries can't be lived out if we only stick to the surroundings we know and the people who know us. One of my favorite verses that seems to fit in pretty well right now is Isaiah 28:16. See, I lay a stone in Zion, a tested stone, a precious cornerstone for a sure foundation. Whoever believes in it need never be shaken. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been my cornerstone, whether you know it or not. You've been the people who have always been here to help me build my firm foundation in Christ. Now it's time for us to go into the world and be the firm foundations for others and give them a place to love God and to learn, grow, and be empowered in him. Thank you.
Thank you, Owen.